Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Our top story this evening is Hurricane Matthew gaining strength as it moves closer to the United States.
Matthew is bearing down on the Bahamas now, the massive storm causing catastrophic damage in Haiti. As it turns towards the U.S., the state of Florida and the East Coast bracing for the most powerful storm to hit the region in nearly a decade. ABC 7's chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now with the latest track. Bob?
Yeah, if you didn't see it earlier, there's some new advisories that have just come up from the National Hurricane Center, and now there is a tropical storm watch in effect for coastal communities in Manatee and Sarasota and Charlotte counties, as well as all of DeSoto County. So a tropical storm watch means there is a potential to get winds of sustained value of 40 or greater for the next couple of days now. As far as the strongest winds for us are concerned, it would be on Friday, it appears, Friday morning through the day, and then tapering off on Saturday morning. But the hurricane warning is along the East Coast. We are not expecting hurricane force winds here. The reason why they put us under a watch is because there is a chance that this storm could get closer to us as it moves off toward the northwest on Thursday and Friday. You can see the area in pink right there covering Osprey, Venice, Inglewood, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, parts of Northport as well, and then all of DeSoto County. The area in brown here that you see, this is a tropical storm warning, and that is a warning meaning it's imminent that they are going to see tropical storm force winds there into Highlands County, a tropical storm watch in effect for the entire coastal community. We have a lot to talk about here in terms of the storm. It's moving to the northwest at 12 now. The pressure is actually starting to come down once again, and this system will get better organized. We are anticipating to turn into a Category 4 by sometime late tomorrow afternoon and move right on in possibly toward Fort Pierce, making a landfall there. It could be anywhere, though, with inside this cone. On top of that, the conditions of tropical storm force will be outside of this cone throughout the day on Friday, and then eventually tracking right along the coast would be the worst case scenario, because not just a 40 or 50 mile area will get hurricane force winds. In this kind of situation, you're talking over 100 miles of an area getting hurricane force winds, and not just hurricane force winds, major hurricane force winds. So that would be catastrophic. And I showed this last night at 2 a.m. Notice what happens here. It kind of loops and comes back toward the state in about 7 days from now. At least that's what a lot of the models are suggesting. We'll have to wait around and see. High pressure is building to the north. It could force a little bit further west, too. And that's the reason why the National Weather Service and Hurricane Center has put us under a tropical storm watch. And I want to share this one last graphic. This is the probability of tropical storm force winds over the next 3 days. And really, for us, it's from Friday until Saturday morning, and you can see that has increased now to 40 to 50% for Manatee and Sarasota counties, and for Highlands County it's all the way up to 80%. So that's the reason why they are under a tropical storm warning there, meaning they could see high-end tropical storm force winds. We're talking 60 to 70 miles an hour sustained, and gusts as high as 80 into Highlands County. Well, much more in our weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. So far, at least 11 deaths are being blamed on Hurricane Matthew. Catastrophic damage in Haiti. Hurricane Matthew's 145-mile-per-hour winds ripping through towns, flash flooding, washing out roads, and destroying hundreds of homes. But the damage in the impoverished country is hard to measure, as many ignored orders to evacuate, and communications are non-existent in many areas. Rescue workers are struggling to reach cut-off towns. The concern now shifts to the Bahamas, where Matthew is expected to batter the islands before turning its focus to the U.S. States of emergency have been declared in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Millions of people are being urged to head at least 100 miles inland. Mandatory evacuations have been ordered in Brevard and Martin counties, and voluntary evacuations have been activated in St. Lucie County. Residents are stocking up, but many store shelves are already empty. Bottled water is dwindling and gas is scarce, with drivers having to wait in long lines. Governor Rick Scott is urging people to get out before it's too late.
Well, as hurricane threatens Florida's East Coast, hotel employees across the Sarasota area are working with phones. And many people living directly in the storm's path are now seeking refuge here. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo is live on Siesta Key with more on that story. Dwayne?
Well, good afternoon, guys. I'm here at Beachside Villas out on Siesta Key. Now, management here says the 50 units they have here filled up pretty quick. Now, within the last half an hour, 3 families from out east have checked in, many of them saying they would not be, if this is not in the clear, if Sarasota is not in the clear, they would prefer to be here than out east. Marcy Moratelli has experienced hurricanes before and doesn't plan on a repeat performance.
The power goes off, things blow around, it can get dangerous.
She lives on the East Coast, but is here now to avoid the storm.
We're afraid to go back, so we're staying here.
And she's not alone. As evacuees flee Florida's East Coast, more are planning to come to the Sun Coast before the storm hits.
And we now are sold out for the next 2 nights.
General Manager of Beachside Villas, Curtis Andrews, and his staff have been receiving calls and setting up reservations all day. Many of those reservations being made due to people evacuating.
And right now, we have 35 arrivals, so we've had over 30 reservations overnight.
Management saying that many of the people trying to escape Hurricane Matthew have been to this area before.
All the folks that come down here during season know our name, and we actually get a lot of folks from the Miami area that come during the summer.
Like Denise and Fred Gardner, who have visited Sarasota in the past. They purchased a home a few counties north of Miami, but have to wait for the storm to pass.
So here we are in Sarasota for the next few days.
Andrew citing the key for evacuees, comfortability and convenience.
They know they're not going to be impacted by traffic. They know that they can drive here, they can park their car, and they don't have to get in their car again until they leave after the hurricane has, gone through the East Coast.
A sentiment shared by the Gardners.
We're going to be here for as long as it takes to weather out the storm.
Now, a few other hotels we spoke with are either nearly booked or fully booked. So, hopefully that, there'll be some rooms here for folks when they come in. Reporting on Siesta Key, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. As the Suncoast closely monitors Matthew, Manatee County is adjusting to having a new person in charge of emergency management. Don Hermy resigned as emergency management chief back on September 27th. The county has not released any details surrounding his resignation. Public Safety Director Bob Smith assigned Sherilyn Burris to serve as chief until a permanent replacement is hired. Burris has been with the county for 2.5 years and is urging people to be on guard.
I want people to keep in mind, even though it's not making landfall here, doesn't mean we're really out of the woods.
Previously, Burris held positions with Florida Division of Emergency Management and as a federal contractor for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And you can get constant updates on Hurricane Matthew 24 hours a day, anytime you want, by downloading our app. Just search for Suncoast Weather. You'll get notifications if there are any watches or warnings issued, street closures, or flooding problems directly to your smartphone.
A follow-up now on a deadly shooting investigation in the Oneiko community. The Gold Star Club of Manatee County is now offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information that leads to the arrest in the death of 36-year-old Charles Saffer Jr. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies say Saffer was found shot to death on September 29th at the corner of 10th Street East and 58th Avenue Drive in Bradenton. If you have any information about this case, you are asked to call Manatee County Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS.
Next month, Manatee County voters will be asked whether they want to approve a half-cent sales tax increase. Today, Bradenton's city administrator listed where he'd like to spend that additional revenue if approved. ABC 7's Ray Collins is here with the details. Ray?
Yeah, Scott, if voters approve that half-penny sales tax increase, that would mean an additional $30 million a year for Manatee County and up to $4 million for the city of Bradenton. Well, today, the city administrator released his wish list of Bradenton's biggest needs. He says most of that revenue could go toward streets and lighting. That's the first goal. City Councilman Patrick Ruff listed the 4 top priorities.
Our biggest need is transportation, with 42% of the monies generated going towards transportation. Public safety is another big, it's a very expensive item for the city of Bradenton. We would be committing, according to this recommendation, 27% of the monies into that. Parks and community facilities, 13%, so you can see the numbers dropping down considerably. And then last, stormwater.
But all this depends on the voters if they'll approve the tax. There's an identical half-penny issue for the school district of Manatee County as well. If approved, both will be in effect for 15 years, respectively. Back to you.
All right, Ray, thank you. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, scientists are keeping an eye on elevated red tide levels where the most concentrated levels are now being reported here on the Suncoast.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast plus the latest on Hurricane Matthew. And are some insulin pumps leaving diabetics in danger? How one security flaw may be putting these users at risk in Health Smart.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
It's not known yet how or if Hurricane Matthew will affect the red tide patches in the Gulf off of the Suncoast.
Scientists at Mote Marine Lab are keeping a close eye on the elevated levels of red tide algae on the Suncoast. Water samples collected Monday showed 3 locations with high concentrations of red tide: Longboat Key, North Lido Beach, and Turtle Beach. Mote scientists also say dead fish are still washing up on some shores. This harmful algae occurs naturally in the Gulf. When the algae is present, people can experience eye, nose, and throat irritation.
Red tide is most commonly associated with the end of summer or beginning of fall. That's usually where blooms begin. However, blooms can come up anytime during the year.
Mote Marine says red tide can be very patchy and concentration levels vary from beach to beach. Of course, you can go online and check out where the beaches are. FWC comes out with their reports on Friday afternoon. But of course, our attention is we're hoping that if there's a good aspect of this storm, it is that it will help break up that.
Yeah, the northeast winds could possibly push all this stuff off into the Gulf of Mexico a little bit more so. So that's what we're looking at right now. We showed earlier a graphic of a tropical storm watch for Sarasota and Manatee counties. It showed the coastal communities only. That was just a computer glitch from the National Hurricane Center. So now it covers the entire county of Sarasota, Manatee, DeSoto, and Hardee County. So we're all under a tropical storm watch. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to see tropical storm force conditions, but the likelihood is there, and there's a good chance that it may turn into a warning as early as 11 o'clock tonight, depending upon the future movement of Matthew. So stay tuned, folks. Right now, if you want to know, the biggest time for our strong winds will be on Friday. Now, Friday will be the time. We'll start to see winds pick up Thursday night, but Friday, during the morning and afternoon, there's a potential for tropical storm force winds. Beautiful day out today. Lots of sunshine, not many showers and storms around. You can see a little bit of activity right there, kind of pinwheeling around the area of low pressure. And we talked about it yesterday. In fact, I was talking to my director. This is a military shaft right there. They're doing some military exercises. Looks rather unusual, doesn't it? It's not the normal rain that you would see. That's how you can determine that. Kind of interesting to see them doing some exercises right now just off the coast of Key West. And again, hammered right now. They're going to get hammered, especially in Andros Island. And it looks like on in through Nassau, the Grand Bahama Island, also going to get hit hard. And this is all the result of that storm passing right through it. Now, the watches and warnings are all over the place. The area in pink now, that's a hurricane watch, and this is a hurricane warning from right around Daytona Beach southward to North Beach in Miami. That's all a hurricane warning. The reason why such a large swath is because there's a potential for this storm to move right along the coast, and that would be the worst case scenario ever for the state, to see a Category 4 skirt the coast, more so than Andrew. Andrew was just a 25-mile wide big tornado, you might say. This would be 100-mile wide if it skirted the coast and hurricane force winds were to hit from North Miami all the way up to Daytona Beach, devastating along the east coast of Florida. For us, all the area that you see right there in pink is now under a tropical storm watch, and the area in yellow is now a tropical storm warning. So that does now include Hardee County, tropical storm warning in Hardee County and into Highlands County, tropical storm watch into Manatee, Sarasota, and into Charlotte County. So you can get the picture. Things are deteriorating rather fast as far as the warnings and watches go for us. 91 degrees, feels like 99 degrees, and temperature statewide, Jacksonville a bit cooler at 73, all into the upper 80s to low 90s here. Not a lot of rain to cool us down. The Gulf of Mexico temperature now at 85 degrees, but where Matthew is moving over, the water temperature there upper 80s to near 90 degrees. So we do expect this to increase in intensity. And what's happened is that high pressure is now built to the north of it. And another thing is that the trough that's supposed to catch this storm doesn't appear that it's going to catch it and take it off into the Atlantic. So high pressure is going to build to the north once it gets north of Jacksonville and possibly turn it back down south. And you guessed it, back into Florida. I saw that this morning at around 2 a.m. with the GFS run, and it was incredible to see that. So just imagine another storm coming back this way same time next week, and it being the same storm. So we'll see if that pans out. Right now it is just hammering in the central, looks like the central Bahamas right now, and we'll continue to move off toward the northwest Bahamas tomorrow. If you follow the current path of the center line, we don't like to do that, it would be right around Fort Pierce making a landfall, but then we put the map into motion, it just kind of moves right along it all the way up to Daytona Beach, close enough to bring hurricane force winds and possibly Category 4 winds right into the coast for a good stretch of about 100 miles there. And for us, we'll be close enough, and especially if it moves a little bit further off on the left side of this cone of uncertainty, we'll certainly get tropical storm force winds here. And there's that loop I told you about. That's the 5-day forecast heading back southeast. Here's the forecast wind gusts for us. I wanted to show you this real quickly. On Wednesday, today and tonight, not much. The gusts aren't all that strong. But notice what happens when we get into, it looks like Friday morning, they start to pick up. These are gusts up to 30 miles an hour coming out of the north and northeast on Friday morning. And then they pick up. In fact, at one point, they get up to 58 miles an hour into Highlands County. So that is something to watch over the upcoming days. Well, more on our specifics on our forecast. Weekend is shaping up to be a lot better as some cooler air starts to settle in. Well, more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Right now, we're seeing some traffic on US 41 in the Sarasota area. This is the northbound lanes of 41 right near Fruitville Road. A lot of red on the map. Also on Fruitville as well as we head east. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, Johnson & Johnson is telling patients that it has learned of a security vulnerability in one of its insulin pumps that a hacker could exploit to overdose diabetic patients with insulin. The company says the risk is very low and has offered a fix to patients who use the Animas One-Touch Ping insulin pump. The pump comes with a remote control, and the communication between it and the pump is where a security professional identified a possible vulnerability. That's because those communications instructions are not encrypted or scrambled. Johnson & Johnson says people can stop using the remote or pre-program the maximum dose. Traumatic incidents in childhood may lead to premature aging. U.S. and Canadian researchers have been studying the lengths of people's telomeres. Those are the DNA protein caps at the ends of chromosomes that shorten as we age. The length of them is linked to age-related diseases. Researchers found that every childhood trauma appears to up the risk of having shorter telomeres by 11%. Those traumas include losing a parent losing a job, child abuse, and parental drug addiction. The FDA is warning against the use of homeopathic teething tablets and gels. They say they pose potential risks to infants and children, so CVS has voluntarily withdrawn the products. The FDA is currently testing samples of the products and analyzing reports linking them to seizures in infants and children since 2010. Homeopathic teething tablets and gels are sold in retail stores and online and are distributed by companies including both CVS and Highland. Coming up, a train derailment prompts Amtrak to suspend some of its services in New York. And it's not a sight you expect to see while running a marathon. The world record two athletes are hoping to break. We'll be right back.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass & Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass & Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month, complimentary maintenance included. At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
An important message for Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you receiving all the benefits available to you? Do you know there is money available to lower your Medicare prescription costs? Now's the time to find the coverage that's right for you at the right price. The way to do that is to explore your options. You can spend hours doing that yourself, or you can call Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you with no cost or obligation. We'll search a variety of plans from nationally recognized companies to find the coverage that's the best fit for you at a price that fits your budget, and we'll do it at no charge to you. Plus, you may be able to save money on prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge.
Call the number on the screen now to make sure you're getting all the benefits you deserve. Don't wait. Call now.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Morning rush hour in New York City grinds to a halt when a freight train derails on the tracks. It happened around 9 o'clock this morning in the Bronx. At least 8 empty freight train cars derailed. Fortunately, no one was hurt, no hazardous materials spilled. The train was up and running shortly afterwards, but the derailment did cause some delays for Amtrak passengers. A follow-up now in a deadly passenger train crash in New Jersey. Investigators say it will still be a few days before they'll have information from video recorders pulled from the wreckage. Engineers from the National Transportation Safety Board are working to extract that data. The train engineer's cell phone is also being looked at. Last Thursday's crash killed 1 woman and injured more than 100 others.
A superhero-inspired funeral for a 6-year-old school shooting victim. Mourners wore superhero costumes to Jacob Hall's funeral today in Townville, South Carolina. Jacob died on Saturday, 3 days after he was shot while playing on the playground at his elementary school. According to his mother, Jacob loved superheroes. The public was invited to attend the service wearing their favorite superhero attire. A visitation yesterday featured the same theme. The 14-year-old boy is charged with murder in the shooting. It's not clear yet if he will be charged as an adult. Marathon runners are getting into the Halloween spirit. One UK runner dressed up as Robin to run his charity half marathon in Wales. He was joined with a friend who, of course, was dressed as Batman. A few fellow runners were looking at them as a tiny bit confused, but the superheroes were running to break a Guinness World Record for fastest half marathon in a superhero costume, which they did break that record.
Didn't know there was a category like that. Well, traffic was held up a bit this morning in Clearwater while police and firefighters worked to rescue an injured bald eagle. Police say the eagle had been struck by a car while trying to feed on a dead animal in the road. The eagle eventually hopped off the side of the road where it was eventually captured by a wildlife rescue specialist. The eagle was then taken to Owl's Nest Sanctuary in Odessa, where workers hope to nurse it back to health. Doesn't look that bad.
I was going to say, it looks very calm and cool and collected.
It can't fly, apparently, right now.
Yeah, well, we hope it has a good recovery. And still to come in your Suncoast News, water already overtaking roads in Northport.
What the city is doing now to prevent a worse situation as that storm approaches. We'll be right back.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.